Alright, hello everyone, it's Teamrocketdraws here with another Pokemon drawing tutorial. And for this video guys, I'll be drawing another of your requests. We'll be drawing Rockruff. So as you guys can see on screen, this is how he ends up looking like. So if you guys want to learn how to draw him, then let's get started. I'm also going to put up a reference right now on screen. That way it's easier for you guys to draw, and at the same time you guys will get all your details. Just keep in mind guys, that he's not going to end up looking like the reference 100%, but we do end up getting pretty close. And remember to do your line slide, because we are going to be doing a sketch, and then from there on you guys are gonna do your final drawing. So like always guys, we're gonna start off by doing a circle, and like I said before, just try to do it as perfect as you can, because the better that you guys make it, the easier the tutorial is gonna be to follow. So once we have our circle, you guys see me here going a few times around, just trying to like perfect it a little bit. You know, if I see in one area it's way off, then I kind of, on the second time that I go around it, I go over that area just to make it perfect, or as close as I can. And then once we have that, we're gonna split the circle in the middle both ways. Once again, try to keep it like accurate, like in the middle. And once we have that, we're gonna do this reference line going down here, and that's just gonna help us know where to do the legs, or how far to do them. And now around here, basically in the middle of this first triangle of the circle, we're gonna do this line going up, and it doesn't go higher than the too higher than the circle, or too far away from the circle, that is. So we could just make this kind of like a oval shape right there. That's basically gonna be his body. Alright, so now for the snout. So the snout is gonna start around here. It basically makes the top of a triangle shape, and then we're gonna do another line right here at the top, parallel to the one in the middle, and we're gonna kind of curve it into the corner right there, and it's gonna make this almost triangle shape. Another one over here around there, and those are gonna be the ears. Alright, so now that we have that guys, we could just extend this one and then just curve it a little bit, so the other side right here under that kind of goes down, and then it makes this triangle shape. And then around here we're just gonna extend that shape of the circle, and then we're just gonna curve it right here for the top of his ear. It might take you guys a couple tries to get it. I know later on, once I do my final drawing, I do work on the ear a little bit. And now we could just basically connect it right in the middle, make this triangle shape. So that's the gray part on the tip of his ears. So I work a little bit on that shape. Like I said before, I wasn't too happy with this, so just because we did it like that doesn't mean it has to stay. We could always fix it and make any changes. Alright, so now for this side, we could just extend it this way, and then we could just connect it to the other ear around there. And then he also has these other two lines, or we could just do that part. And then he also has these other two lines down here, which makes up his the inside of his ear and the outside. Alright, so now for the snout. So the snout, it's a weird shape guys, so we could just start off by doing this shape right here. Extend the top a little bit, and then just round it off and connect it to the bottom. It might take you guys a couple of tries, just because the shape is a little bit on the weird side. Like, it's not like a shape that we could just make really quick. And then we could just play a line right there and make his nose. There we go. And now for his mouth. So his mouth is just this shape right here, and I start off by doing it a little bit too down, so I go a little bit higher, and then I think I make mine a little bit smaller than it is on the reference, but like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect guys, so I just kept it that way because I thought it looked good on my drawing, so I'm just gonna keep it that way. And then he has this like a zigzag line that basically represents his teeth. And there we go, we got his snout. Alright, so for his eyes, he has one right here, and this is just the top of his eye, since he's kind of like angry, he's growling. And then we could just connect it to the bottom of the snout like that. And now the other side, it basically starts on the same level as the other eye, the top of the other eye. And right here I point out that it basically should go up to the same level as well. And then we could just do this like oval shape for the rest of the eye. There we go. Now for the inside of the eye, we could just do this shape right here. It's basically parallel to the outside of the circle, or the oval shape I mean. And then right in the middle of that he has another oval shape, that's his actual pupil. Now the same thing on this side, he has a parallel line to the outside, and then he has part of the oval shape right there. So I just color in the pupil just to make it stand out a little bit more better. Alright, so now for his leg. So his leg once again doesn't go further. It starts like right in the middle of the circle that we did at the beginning, and it goes down to that reference line that we did earlier. And we're just gonna do his toes. He has 3 of them, and then we're just gonna do his paw right there. So just make it look okay, like the thickness wise for the paw. Just if it doesn't look right, if it's too like too thin or too thick, you guys could always change it. Now the other one starts around here, and once again it's gonna go up to that, and then just try to make it the same thickness as the other one. I think right here I make it a little bit too thin, so I do go back and I change it, just make it a little bit thicker. And then once again just make it up to that line, and just do the 3 paws, which should basically be the same size as the ones on the other side. Although now that I'm looking at the reference, this foot is a little bit smaller than the first one that we did. And then right here it kind of goes back up, and it kind of wants to meet up with that middle line from the circle. And then he does have this little thing right here, this line where it splits his paw. And then I just do a little triangle right there. Later, he doesn't have that line going across the bottom. We could erase that later on. And now for the other leg, guys, we could just extend it from the body, from the top. And right here I'm just pointing out that it should basically be the same thickness as the other ones. And this one doesn't go actually up to that line, the reference line that we did earlier, so just try to make it a little bit higher than that. Although you guys can make it the same level, but since the reference doesn't have it like that, that's why I didn't go all the way down. And then once again try to make the 3 little paws, or the little toes, once again where the toe splits, and then he has this like triangle shape right there. And once again just try to make all of these 3 the same, guys, like the triangle shape, the paws, like the toes. Just try to make them the same size, or at least close to it. I didn't like the paw right there, so I did change it. Alright, so now that we have that, we can start by doing his like collar. So the bottom of his head is actually a straight line. I know that we did a circle, but we could just make it straight from the snout. And then around here he has this part of his like collar, and then the other part goes down here, which are basically triangle shapes in a way without the bottom part. That's another one that gets close to that. So if you guys look at the reference, you'll basically see the way I'm doing it here. Another one over here, and then a smaller one down here, and it doesn't reach all the way to the top. So something that I did on mine, guys, was that the color didn't meet up on the same spots as the reference, but that's alright. As long as it looks good on your drawing, you guys can make any changes to it. If it doesn't line up like the way the reference has it or the way I have it, then it's alright. You guys could always just add them yourself. Alright, so now the other side of the colors right there are, I mean, his face, the cheek. And then he does have, once again, these like triangle shapes on his cheek as well. And this is where it doesn't line up with the color, just like the reference. So I just go with it, like I just keep going it, you know, as long as it looks good on my drawing. Then it doesn't have to be exactly like the reference. And then I just erase a little bit on the lines just to clean it up a little bit, because it's starting to look a little bit messy. And now for the tail. So the tail starts around here, the right side, and it goes about that height. And then we have this like round part right here. And I think I point out right here, there's basically the same length as the first line that we did. And then just curve it right here, and then we could just kind of loop it around. And then start at the other side, trying to get the right thickness of the tail where it starts. And then once we have that, we could just connect it. And once we have that, guys, around here he has this like little hair sticking out. Another one over here. And the third one at the top right there. So all these three are basically the same size. I made that one a little bit too big, so I do erase it and just try to make it a little bit smaller, and just stay consistent to the size of those three hairs sticking out. So I'm pretty happy with the tail, so that's how it's gonna be. And we're pretty much done, guys. The only thing we need to do now is just go over the drawing and make any changes. Like I said before, the bottom of his head or his face is not round, so it's basically a straight line. So now I just go over the lines and just make any changes. I erase some of those reference lines from the shapes that we did earlier. For example, the ear right there is not perfect. Once it hits like the ear area, it kind of like loops or dips. I don't know how to explain it, guys. If you guys look at the reference, you guys will see what I mean. We could erase this line right here. The same thing with these over here on the tail, since they're not there, and that's basically what we're doing, just cleaning up the drawing. And then once we have a clean drawing, we could basically see our reference, or I mean our sketch, and then just make any changes that we see that we can make, and then just go from there. So I'm pretty happy with the sketch, guys. I didn't change that much to do my final drawing, other than I think part of one of the ears. The first one that we did, this one right here where I'm working on, I changed that one to work a little bit on it, just the shape overall. It's not a big change, but just, you know, small changes to it. And then right here, the leg. This is probably one of the hardest parts, just doing this leg right there, the shape of it, where it bends. And then the eye, and we're pretty much done, guys. So from here on, you guys could just work on your sketch and make any changes according to you guys see fit. So if something doesn't look right, now's the best time to change it. For example, the tail doesn't look right, then change it. If the legs, one is like way thicker than the other one, now's the best time to change it, now that we got our final sketch. So anything that doesn't look right is gonna be really noticeable. And that's what I'm basically doing right here. Usually when I do this, where I clean it up or make any changes, I'm just looking at the reference. For example, I pick a spot and then just go from there on. For example, the tail, I look at the tail, then I look at mine, and then I look at probably the legs, then I look at mine, and then the ears, then I look at mine, then the face, I look at mine. So just go from there, just do different sections. And then what I did was I outlined it in pen, as you guys see here. It's just the outline, and once it dried, I just went over with the eraser to erase all the pencil markings, and this is what I'm left with. The reason I do this is just to have a cleaner drawing. Since we do a sketch, it could get a little bit messy. And then I do color them. I use my Copics, my Copic markers. I didn't have the right colors for Rockruff, so I just used the ones that I had, or the closest ones that I had, and I just colored them like in a really light brown. The tail, I just used grays, and then for his snout and his paws and the tips of his ears, I just used a darker brown, and then just regular blue for his eye, and then like a lighter one for the bottom of his eye, which you can barely see. But overall, I think it came out okay, guys. Probably if I had the close enough, a better color, like the reference, you know, closer to the reference, probably would have looked a little bit better. But I think he came out okay, so I'm happy with it. So yeah, guys, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Please leave a comment below how you guys came out, and also let me know if you guys actually drew him, because I'd love to know how many people actually drew him, and just let me know how it came out so far, because I think up to this point you guys have your sketch. So let me know in the comment section how it's been so far, and let me know any things that I could do on my videos to improve them. This one I actually sped it up 1.5 times faster, because the original video, or like normal pace, was like over 20 minutes, which I didn't want to do. So I just sped it up a little bit to like 13 minutes. So I think it's a little bit better. It's a little bit more fast paced, but at the same time it makes the video a little bit shorter, and you guys could always just pause the video as you guys go, take your time. And overall, I'm happy with it, guys. Other than the color, I think it came out okay. So yeah, so I just want to thank you guys for watching. Once again, don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe for more videos, and I guess I'll just catch you guys on the next one. Team Rocket Draws out.